Hello, in this video I will be talking about normal distribution problems in Excel. When solving normal distribution problems, we use the formula norm.dist, and the four parameters for this are x, a random variable, mean, standard deviation, and our cumulative. The cumulative is set to be true, as we usually look for the cumulative probability when solving problems like this. Now let's move on to Excel. Our first question is, in determining automobile mileage ratings, it was found the MPG of a certain model is normally distributed, with a mean of 31 MPG and a standard deviation of 1.8. Find the following. Our mean here is 31 and our standard deviation is 1.8. So the first question asks us to find the probability of getting a mileage rating less than 30. So let's put the formula norm.dist, and then our x here is 30, our mean is 31, and our standard deviation is 1.8. So, and the cumulative is set to true. In the second question, it asks us to find the probability of being in between 32 and 28. So now to solve that, we would first find below 32. Like before, we can simply copy this and then change the 30 to be 32, and then drag this down and simply change the 32 to now be 28. And now to find the probability of being in between 32 and 28, we would simply subtract the probabilities from each other to get that. Now here, question number C asks us what is the probability of getting a mileage rating above 34. So in order to get the mileage rating above 34, we need to first calculate the mileage rating of under 34. Instead of 28, we will put down 34. Now to find the probability of getting more than 34, we would simply subtract the probability of getting less than 34 from 1. And like we did in the above, we can simply just copy what we have here down here and then subtract it from 1 to get the probability of getting more than 30. Now in the second question, we have a supplier contract calls for a key dimension of a part to be between 1.96 and 2.04 centimeters. The supplier has determined that the standard deviation of its process, which is normally distributed, is 0.03 centimeters. If the actual mean of the process is 1.98, what fraction of parts will meet specification? So for part A, our mean is given to be 1.98 and our standard deviation is 0.03. So now, like before, in order to calculate probability of getting in between 2.04 and 1.96, we need to find the individual probabilities of 2.04 and 1.96. So now norm.dist, where 2.04, our mean, our standard deviation, and cumulative set to true. And then we can simply drag this down and change the 2.04 to be 1.96, and then subtract 1.96 from 2.04, and that gives us the probability of getting in between 2.04 and 1.96. Now in question B, it says if the mean is adjusted to be 2, what fraction of parts will meet the specification? So now our new mean is 2 and our standard deviation remains as 0.03. You can simply copy this down here and now change the mean to be 2, then hit enter, and then just drag it down and change the 1.04 to be 1.96, and now simply subtract the two probabilities from each other, and that would give us our final probability. And that pretty much covers questions related to finding normal distribution probabilities in Excel.